Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam, he's Dean. It's not Christmas, no. I know his mug got Santa on it. But it is the Aftermath Live to Manchester United's defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. It may as well be December because the league title is over. It's not even a laughing matter. It really does feel like the league campaign is already over. It was a dismal result yesterday. I say a result because the performance may not have been bad. Now, before the game, I was thinking this performance from the team is going to show a lot about whether the boys are behind the manager or not. And that is what we're talking about today. Do we think Jose Mourinho has lost the dressing room at Manchester United? Or do we still think this is rescuable? Could Jose Mourinho turn this around and make it a success? We're with Dean. Dean was with me at the game yesterday. If you've seen the vlog, you would have seen that already. But Dean, what are your immediate reactions to Manchester United 0, Tottenham 3?
Obviously, it's cliche. It was a game of two halves, and I think we started the game pretty well. We did look shaky at the back, but we created chances. Lukaku's chance, he's got to gobble that up. The second half, completely different game. Tottenham came out more. Mora, I thought, was their best player. Had beaten of all of our defence. Especially so in the second half. And then obviously ultimately they took their chances where we didn't. Harry Kane scored the first one. It's done. I think it's Phil Jones who's marking him. It's not even great movement, but he's kind of just held his ground. Absolutely buried, man. Like you'd argue, obviously maybe for players on the post, maybe we stop that. The second one straight after, we just looked kind of shell shocked, to be honest. That was a kind of disappointing thing because I think obviously we do, because we can create chances.
There wasn't a reaction.
Yeah, I was more expecting obviously we'd shut up shop a bit, but then obviously look to kind of hit them. And before that could even kind of happen, we're 2-0 down. The game's kind of over at that point. Obviously our heads drop, and then obviously we're looking to obviously try and get back into the game, and they hit us again, and it's kind of all she wrote. It's disappointing, but it as bad as that's what football is, isn't it? Like if you don't take your chances when you're up, we should have took our chances in the first half. We could have. I said before the game, I thought we'd win 3-1. I thought there'd be goals either way. But if we took our chances, I think it's a completely different game. I think if Lukaku scores, his chance. He ran to Lloris. He didn't even need to take it straight away. He could have cut inside and buried on his left foot. He could have walked in if he wanted to. And it's just, I don't know. To me, he's rushed it, and he's missed it, and it changes the game. Like if we score, it's a different game.
I did get that feeling as well, that a goal was on the way for Manchester United, and even at half time, I knew it was 0-0, but we had to get a goal ASAP. And then I think they get their first set piece of the second half. I think it might have been their first corner. Harry Kane's unmarked, 1-0, and there was a dip in the crowd, and the confidence of the players just went, and everything seemed to just be rushed after that. I thought in the first half it was a much better performance. It was probably our best half of football all season, but especially against teams like Spurs, when you don't take your chances, you're going to be punished, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. It was really frustrating to see, and again, I know Bailly and Lindelof weren't great last weekend, and Lindelof wasn't great when he came on yesterday, but again showing Smalling and Jones aren't quite good enough, and it's a worry that obviously we never got that centre half that we wanted. On the other side of the opposition yesterday, we had Toby Alderweireld, the man that we wanted, keeping clean sheets, and I think it showed that the failure to get a defender has shown in the last two games, maybe, although we would expect more from the likes of Bailly and Lindelof.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think all four of the defenders have had a shocking, a week, 8 days. Whatever it's been, literally all of them has been at fault for several. We could see these 6 goals in 2 games. It's atrocious. And we've only scored 1 in that time as well. And again, obviously
2.
2. Yeah, we got a late one against Brighton. But for me, it's awful. Not one of them has, like I say, has been able to save face through any of this. Phil Jones, you can say Harry Kane's on marked. He's been marked by Phil Jones.
Phil Jones got injured again.
It's one of them. I don't know. Is it a big miss? I don't know. But he gets done on the corner. It's not again, like I say, it's not. It's good movement by Harry Kane, and he holds him off, and it's a big boy header and that. But as a defender, you jump in front of his face or something. I don't know, and it like bonks him, do something. He don't do nothing. He scores. Obviously Herrera I think gets done for Mora's first goal, and then obviously like Smalling just gets absolutely mugged off by Mora for the third, just running at him. You know, them ones like looking like he's playing FIFA or something. Like it's one of them. I don't know defensively. I don't know where we go from here, because as bad as I think on paper we are defensively, I don't think we're as bad as we've shown the last 2 games. But now I think it's like the players are kind of believing the talk. You know what I'm saying? Like they're also believing they're really whacking it. Like that's kind of what it seems like now, because it's just like it looks like a comedy of errors. Man, like there was a chance I think in the first half where I think it was Dele Alli was getting at Smalling, maybe Mora, and Smalling slid in, but it looked like he slipped, but he somehow wins the ball, and it's like obviously they don't go on to score, but it's like, to me you've got off with it there, but you're not. It's not great defending.
You're not building confidence.
Yeah, it's not like, it don't look like you meant what you did, innit? But I don't know, man. Even that, like I said, they scored 3. They could have scored 5 or 6, to be honest. And that, like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I think Dele Alli went round the goalie. Like Lindelof, I don't know. Again, Lindelof.
It was just come on as well, and you're thinking, come on.
How you messing up a 15-yard pass? Professional footballer messing up a 15-yard pass in the game, getting hammered in. And you know what I'm saying? You
especially to a goalkeeper as well. You can afford to put a little bit more on it, because you know a goalkeeper can just hoof it out. It's not like it's to a centre half that's marked or anything like that. Like a goalkeeper can just say, all right, let me just launch this if there's danger. And he kind of took some off it, and you're thinking, what the hell is going on? It was really, really worrying in terms of that second half. But the first half showed that the players were on it, and that's why it's so confusing. So after the game, at 3-0, a lot of fans left. There was a lot of fans leaving. Now a lot of fans do leave early because of traffic and that, but this was a little bit different.
Yeah, it was like as soon as the third goal went in,
it was like, oh, for fuck's sake,
forget this, I'm gone in it. Right?
Yeah. So there was a lot of fans that left. Now Jose Mourinho at the end comes to the Stretford end. The fans are singing "United, we love you." He's standing there applauding them. And what do you think do you think there was any meaning behind that from Jose Mourinho? Or do you think it was just a connection with the fans and him?
I just think it's kind of, obviously we just got slapped up. Got slapped up at home. Got beat by Brighton away. Obviously it was a poor start, but the atmosphere was like in the Stretford end, the atmosphere was awful, right? Like, and obviously it was getting behind the team. I just think it's kind of appreciation, because I think that some teams wouldn't do that. I think he's kind of appreciating that, because
he's used to like Chelsea and that.
That's like, if he's in Real Madrid right now, they're waving the white flags. You know, them ones like it's not. But there is people still backing him, so I think it's a kind of.
Do you think they're backing him or backing the team? Because there was a moment where Mourinho's Red Army was being sung. I sang it, you sang it, but a lot of people just didn't get asked to join in. And then as soon as the next song went round, that was louder. Do you think that is maybe a marker that some fans?
Obviously, some fans don't like Mourinho, innit? Like, let's not beat around the bush, innit? Like, some fans don't like him. Some fans are not liking what we're doing at the moment. But obviously,
I see. Like, I'm one of those guys that's like, I know, like, I don't like some things, but I have to sing his name. If we're singing his song, I'm singing his name. You get me? Because I want him to succeed ultimately. And while he's here, I want him to feel our support, because he has to feel our support. If he's not feeling the support of the board, he has to feel the support of the fans. And I thought that maybe that was either to the dressing room or to the board. It was either like a message that, look, these guys are with me. Like, I like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys understand that they're still with me, kind of thing. That's how I kind of, being a cynical kind of person, that's how I look at it. But at the same time, it's like,
for example, Tony Marshall don't play as much, but the fans love him, innit? Like, but what does that mean? Like, can you go into Manchester like, I'm the boss and that because the fans love me? Like, no, bro, you can get shots.
No, but Jose Mourinho likes to do those things.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, I'd like to think the fans have a massive impact on certain things, the way the club's run. Personally, I just don't think that happens. So I think to me it was just Mourinho was just trying. Obviously, he's probably appreciating that man are still like cheering the team on when we're getting hammered.
I disagree to a certain extent. Whilst I agree that the club make decisions based financially, so if we miss out on the top 4, they'll sack Jose Mourinho. So if it became mathematically impossible in March, April, we can't get top 4, they'd sack it. Like they did Van Gaal, like they did David Moyes. I think they would. Because I think their goals are purely financial, and I think you have to meet a certain financial target.
But why give him a new contract like earlier this year? Like to me, like that's the biggest thing you can ever say to the players is like, you know, like, yo, obviously, well, in some players' cases, obviously they've got probably a longer contract than him, so I don't know. But at the same time, managers final say. But it's like when the board's back and giving a new contract, that's the biggest indication that I've got back in here.
Yeah, but I'm saying yes, whilst I do think the board would make a purely financial decision, I think if we were like Chelsea and say the whole stadium turned on the manager and it happened continuously, I think they would be forced to make a decision. So by that token, I do think fans kind of can have an impact on those decisions.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think like we're ever going to get the Glazers removed or Woodward removed. I don't think the fans can have that kind of power. But with a manager's position, I think they kind of do.
I don't know. I think a club like Manchester United, I don't think they're going to be ruled by outside. Like again, like if you listen to the, for example.
But it is because that affects the brand.
Okay, if you listen
if they've got home games being shown Old Trafford, and fans are booing their manager, that affects their brand.
Yeah, but like for example, supporters, like we prefer safer standing in it. They're not facilitating that. Obviously, again, the Premier League met the rules or whatever. But if you really don't want to do what the fans want, they'll do stuff like that. You know, they'll look to making safe standing areas or whatever. They don't do that because it's not. They're just interested in man paying to come and sit down and watch whatever. And like we just want to get paid. But I don't think they're gonna go to drastics of. In Manchester United's case, just be driven by the fans are upset because about Mourinho. Like if he's. Wenger was at Arsenal for how long? Just being mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Because he makes them money in it. Like what. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I think me personally, I think.
But after he stopped getting top 4, he was gone. It's true or false?
Nah, no, yeah, but like, yeah, maybe, but well, we'll see how theirs plays out, innit? Like,
and that's why I said in my review yesterday, we have become a little bit like Arsenal. It feels
to me,
like the board's goal isn't to win the league or win the Champions League, like it is at City and it may be at Liverpool. The board's goal is to protect their assets and just make enough money.
The thing that I don't like though, obviously talking about comparisons to Arsenal, I've never really experienced it, was where like in the game, some people are obviously kicking off about Mourinho, and obviously then next man are obviously like saying you need to back the manager, you need to back the team, and if you're not, you need to bounce, innit? And obviously like squabbles are happening between fans, and obviously like just from my perspective, I just think it's like obviously like everyone here, the only reason we're all here is because of United, and I don't know, like that's the only reason why we're there. So obviously you might as well just. If you can do anything positive towards the team. There's no point being negative towards the team, in my opinion. But the fact that I'm starting to see that, you get me, it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if people are that unhappy with Mourinho or whatever it is, but it's like we're starting to kind of go, it looks that way where people are squabbling and, you know what I'm saying, it's like really, we should be trying to back the team and it, like, you know what I'm saying, like what they're playing at least, and like, if you can do that full time or something, and like, I don't know, like, do it outside when he's going to his car or something, but I don't know, man, for me, it's just, I've never really seen that at United, you know, them ones, I've only ever seen pro people at United, to be honest.
I think that is, like, the predominant thing with Manchester United, like, fans, like, at the game, they will never turn on the manager and the players, really. Like, even, like, with ex-players, apart from a handful, like, we always give them a good reception. And, like, I think that's one thing, like, obviously, we can all have our say on social media and on YouTube and whatever, but in the stadium, support the team. You get me? That's like we're there to like. I remember chatting to someone yesterday and they said they wanted us to lose, and I was thinking like, I don't know how you can turn up to the game thinking that in your head.
That's mad. Like that's some mad thinking, but it's like to me, as much as obviously you vote with your feet, and like if you don't like what you see or whatever, fair play to you, leave the game or whatever. But to me, I just think it. Even doing that, like I didn't do it. Like when they scored for a goal, I'm still staying there in it. Like, but I think at the same time that again transfers to the players. Like if you literally see a mass exodus of people and the players do, you notice it in it. Like you see, literally as soon as the third goal went in, bag of people started leaving. You get me? And I'm like, bro, if you're a player, you're gonna see that. You're telling me that's not gonna have a knock-on effect to you, but you're just thinking you might as well just allow it in it. Like everyone's bouncing in. Like, what is it now? Like, we only support the team when we're winning or something. I don't know. You get me? Like, but to me, you gotta support. Or if you're there for United, then you gotta support the whole time, innit? None of this like, we're losing now, I'm going yard and that, like. Or at the same time, then you need to understand the players can do the same thing, innit? Like, some of these aren't even United fans, innit? Like, so if we're doing it as fans, like, what are we really asking of them, man? Like, I don't know. But
now, what we want you guys to let us know in the comments is, what do you think about the question? Has Jose Mourinho lost the dressing room? Now, we've spoken about our thoughts on the game. In terms of Jose Mourinho, of course, we all know my opinions on him, and that I do think he's got some things wrong, but I do feel sorry for him at other times as well. But do I think he's lost the dressing room? I think he may have lost a few players. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But do I think he's lost the dressing room as a whole? After the performance in the first half, I don't think so. Like, that doesn't look like a team that didn't want to play for that manager yesterday at all. It felt like we were very unlucky, and mentally we were fragile, and when 1-0, 2-0 came in, their heads went and we lost the game. And if you're attacking a game against Spurs, it's always going to be difficult. But I don't think he has lost the dressing room based off that performance. Now, we could see in the next couple of games, Burnley, I think we got Watford after that, and a few other games. If the performances are like we saw at Brighton, then maybe you could have an argument to say so. But I think at this moment in time, the answer would be no. I want to get your thoughts on it in the comments. I want to get Dean's thoughts on this as well. Now, let me get the comments up on my phone so I'm not leaning forward. But Dean, what do you think? Now, these are some of the comments now. Jacob says he never had the dressing room. Shoot Neutrality says he's lost the dressing room. Bad Brad says we need to back Jose as long as he's here, which is a general point. Let's see. Kind of feels like Jose has pissed the centre halves off with comments about Toby. They seem kind of despondent, says Adam. Jose sacked by January, says King Z. Shoot Neutrality says I am Jose in, and I think he has lost the dressing room. So he's added further to his comment. Harry says team is spineless, but he hasn't lost them all. And AMLG says Jose has lost the dressing room. Now, Dean, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think he's lost the dressing room. For me, like I said, we at certain points in the game yesterday, we were the better team. Again, if we take our chances, the game plays out differently. We didn't do that, and we allowed them into the game, and they ended up taking their chances. I just think that he's not blessed with. We're not blessed with great centre backs for a start. Some of that's probably his own doing because obviously he signed 2 of them. So obviously you've got to take responsibility for that. Obviously you can complain about the investment in the team, etc. But if the board don't want to back him, and if he's told them, like, you know what I'm saying, he has told, like, at least he's owned up to it. He's like, say, if he's saying he needs a centre back, like, he's admitting to basically that the ones he's bought are poor in it, so he's took that on the chin. But obviously not back to him. So what can he do? And he's managing with them centre backs, and we just get absolutely exposed yesterday. Like.
Right now, I have added a poll onto the video, so make sure you get your vote in. Carry on, Dean. Sorry.
But yeah, in terms of do I think he's lost the dressing room? I don't think so, because I think a lot of the big players there, to be honest, apart from De Gea, they all come from Jose, and like Pogba, Alexis Sanchez. These are his players. I thought Fred had a good game yesterday. As much as people want to get onto Jose about Luke Shaw was the best player on the pitch for United yesterday, in my opinion. That
was the only positive yesterday, was Luke Shaw's performance, isn't it?
Yeah, he's massive performance, but it's like that needs to coincide with the rest of our players playing well. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I thought Pogba, he was very pedestrian throughout the game. I thought Fred, to be fair to him, I thought he was showed a lot of intent, and he was doing quite well, to be fair, but just got done by the finishing, to be honest. But going back to the question, I don't think he's lost the dressing room, because like I said, I think he said it in his press conference after referring to how many Premier League titles he'd won. And again, I think you look around the dressing room, he's won the most.
What did you make of that, though? Because you're talking about, 3 leagues that you won at Chelsea. Like, shouldn't you be judging the here and now?
Yeah, no, but it's like, to me, it's like, you know what I'm saying? If this is cooking and you're a sick cook or something, and then someone, I don't know, someone questioning Gordon Ramsay about how you're cooking something, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, brother, you know how much flipping Michelin stars I've got or something. It's doing the same. It's like, we got these journalists asking stupid questions. And
The arguments could be if he's serving you up some shit. It doesn't matter what he's done in the past.
Yeah, but that's your outside opinion, and obviously, like, again, we're against.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, no, I hear that, innit? But my thing is, to me, I just think that's like it's just a sarcastic response, and like, how are you gonna question me when I've already won this? Like he says, he's got more Premier League winning medals as a manager than anyone in the league, and it put together. So
that'll probably change the season, though.
Yeah, potentially will. Yeah.
It'll be 3-3.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're gonna. Does anyone think we can still win the league? Obviously, never say never. And as a Man United fan, that sounds really defeatist to say that in August. But after the levels that were set last season, to lose 2 games, and it doesn't look like those are going to be the only 2 games. It's difficult to see that we're going to be involved in that. We've got a long way to go if we are to be, and we have a lot of hard work ahead. Do you think Jose will rescue this?
I hope so.
Because we asked fans yesterday, do you think Jose will still be here this time next season? What would you say? For me, I think
he's the best man for the job. I don't see everyone talks about Zidane. Not for me. I think Jose is especially in the Premiership, is the ideal candidate to go up against Pep and City's millions. So for me, he has to. In terms of, I think the board, I think they will look to keep him. I think regardless, but to be honest, it's kind of going back to what you're saying in terms of fan power. If the fans were to, like I say, if we do try and turn into like an Arsenal, you know what I'm saying, Jose out, all this kind of talk, and then they bought into that and it's perceived that badly, then
but
maybe,
I do think,
I think
from a board level, we're being run like Arsenal now, where it's only top 4 matters, and that.
I think Jose gets it. I think top 4. That's not. I don't think that's. I'm not concerned. Like, I'm not thinking, we lost these 2 games, and we're not gonna get top 4. I'm not thinking that.
No, but I'm not. That's not what I'm. Listen to what I'm saying. The board's goals.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think
they're
Jose
not to win the league.
I think Jose does it. I think he.
That's why I'm not sure if please, people at home, listen to what I'm saying here when I say this quote. I'm not sure Jose is the man for the job now because of the way the club is being run. Like, they're not going to give him the funds that he wants to buy players. They're not backing him as he would expect to be backed. And they're definitely not looking to compete with Manchester City and Liverpool in the transfer market. And with that being said, I just feel like it's a matter of time before the relationship between the two becomes too much. Like, so I'm not saying, Jose Mourinho's whack, is not the man for the job. I'm saying, with the setup the way it is, I don't think he fits with what they allowing a manager to do. And I think that may force his hand to either resign or may force their hand to sack him if it becomes a public spat. But this has the potential. The only way we can change it is by winning games. But it has the potential to get worse before it gets better. That's the worrying thing.
I think personally, as much as however they want to manage, I think regardless, I think Jose will look to stay. I think an example is it's away from United, but if you look at Newcastle and their lack of expenditure, and Rafa Benitez, and arguably he's one of the best coaches in the Premiership. You know what I'm saying? He's at Newcastle and he stays there. And it's like, why is obviously there's not. This is hard for, as much as I think obviously they can get jobs and that. Like, they do want to stay in the Premier, and it's like, again, I think Jose, as much as he's kicking off and saying, we ain't getting this, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, I'll deal with what I've got in it, like, because you want to stay, like, for all we know, like, they could be planning like a mass transfer spend next year. I'm not suggesting it's gonna happen, but we don't know, innit? Like, they could have something lined up in January, we don't know. But it's like, they are still a business, and so it's like, I can't, as much as a fan, I want them to expend money. To be honest, like, they may just think, like, now we'll wait till next year, or we've got X and Y lined up, or I don't know, like, but obviously it doesn't help us here and now, but again, like, it comes from the top. Like, if, to be honest, like I say, look, you look at the expenditure, are we looking to like, we're not looking to keep up with City in terms of their expenditure, and we're not, even Liverpool's outdoing us now, so.
Footy Blaze said on Instagram, the United page are hyping Jose. Ed Woodward and the Glazers and them, man, aren't running the Instagram page. That someone gets employed to do that. that could be you, could be me, could be Dean. You don't know.
It's not me.
Dean could be the admin of the United page. So I don't know why people say, like in the transfer window, United tweeted about this player today, so it means he's not. Like, no, that's not the case, because they don't know any of the wiser. You get me? Like, what's going on to be able to not tweet something? They just care about that engagement.
But even that's just all PR in it. Like that's just like
that's all.
They're obviously gonna try and make it anything to do with the club look better than it actually is, isn't it? Like, I think that's just what you're trying. A sad
indictment of where our club is today. I woke up to see a news article which said that the share figures had rose again, and it was kind of like the Glazers and Ed Woodward aren't going to be that unhappy today. They're not going to be as sad as their fans, and that is the worrying thing. All they care about is that what?
That's what, like, obviously people don't like to hear it and that, but that's all. This is what it is, and it, like, the business model of United, like I say, is completely different from City, where they're not running for profit. They're running for just for like their own marketing. So they're trying to buy the league and that, buy Champions League. Same with PSG. Got open checkbooks. It's not business. It's like this is a man's play toy and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even Chelsea have changed their business model now. Like, they're not just throwing away dough and that. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's on managed compensation, of course. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Different clubs are being run that way. And it's like United, I think, to be honest, it's like, even since they've been in now, like, a couple more years, it's like, you know what I'm saying? For all we know, they could just sell it. Like, large corporations get sold every day. And even then, it's like, obviously, it could go the opposite way, innit? Like, because really, like I said, to me, it's like, after the game yesterday, it's like United, I hate to say it, innit? But it's like, the way we're kind of going, as much as I believe in Mourinho, but with the expenditure of other teams, it's like United slowly going to start becoming like how like the New York Yankees are, where it's just like, I don't know how they're doing now in baseball, but it's like,
it doesn't matter because they're still selling it.
That's what I'm saying. It's all their brand and that, and it's like this the biggest biggest baseball team, like, to what I know. I don't know other teams, innit? But that's what they want. It's the same with United. Like, it's so big in other countries, like, and that's just what I hope it doesn't become. Like, I think they need to, like I said, if Mourinho is a man where he's not, like I say, people say he's got a bad record with youth. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but he does want proven winners, and it's like, if you're not going to give him what he wants, like, why have you employed him? Like, he wants like these finished, he wants Toby Alderweireld or whatever. Like, he wants man who've like not gonna have to do it in 3 years' time. They can do it today. And if
that's what's so mad to me. Like, why get a manager? Like, I know they've spent money as well, but like, this window was absolutely atrocious. Like, and in other windows, they've always got him one less player than we've needed. We've needed to get rid of so many players, and they haven't actively looked to do that. And you just think it's fucking madness. Like, it's not obviously all his fault. Who would have thought that we'd still have some of these players now? Like, it's incredible. But that being said, like, I do think we have to get more out of what we've got. We do need, Jose Mourinho needs to find a way to get the best out of his players. And if 2 years in you haven't got a best 11 and you haven't even settled a back four, and, you know, like, we don't even seem to have a style of play, never mind a good style of play or a bad style of play. We don't seem to have a style of play. It's fucking, what do we do all week?
But I mean, at the same time, as much as,
like, you have to ask those questions. He is the manager. He is responsible for that.
I hear that, but it's like, everyone wants to point fingers at Mourinho, but it's like, he needs his players to kind of dig him out of a situation as well. Like I said,
but bro, these players, some of these players, bro, Sanchez came. What has he done? He's gone backwards. He's worth. I know we didn't get much for him, but we couldn't sell him now if we wanted to. But he was half these players are going backwards. No, he wasn't. He was awful.
He was the only one making stuff go
forward.
Awful
when he came on.
Nah, he was better. To me, he was better than our forwards get me. Like, Lukaku was awful. Like,
Lukaku was awful, but look, like,
we need players.
You got to get the best out of these players. Like, these are your
players. Need to do it as well, isn't it? Like he's not like it's not FIFA and that. We're not like.
But our players look like they're not coached, bro. If these players are in any other team, you know they're gonna be performing differently, innit?
Pogba's got all the technical ability in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're pedestrian. It's like I say, like, to me, it's like this season. I hope it don't happen. I think I'm one of Pogba's biggest fans, but it's like, I just think, like, with the way that Fred plays and how intense he is, it's like, I think Ura could get outshadowed this season by Fred. Like, I don't know if in terms of who get the goals, but again, you look at Fred yesterday, he had a decent chance. But it's like, I think you could kind of get outshone by mine.
But how long till Fred becomes one of those players that is playing under himself again? Because that's how all of Jose's signings have gone. They come, they do all right, and then they go a little bit shit.
I don't know, but some of the players got to take responsibility for some of this as well, innit? Like,
but when it's one player,
like
I believe you can say that.
If
when it's just one player, you can say the player has to take responsibility. But when it's an enormous amount of players, your manager has to take responsibility for his troops.
Yeah, I hear that, but it's like, if we have Zidane, does Lukaku score that open
So
goal?
are you telling me, if the manager doesn't affect how the players perform?
I think he can influence them, yes, but like he's not you're not influencing whether Lukaku can score from there or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should just bury that, mate. Like, if you can't score there, like you should struggle. You deserve to. You know what I'm saying? You're missing open goals. You probably deserve to lose him, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you deserve. You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve to score any more goals. You're missing open goals. You know what I'm saying? He had a chance not long after, and it was like a harder chance. I'm thinking like, bro, like, how are you not burying in it? Like, it's like, man, and like I say, I hate to bring it back, but Harry Kane, 1 chance, 1 goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't mess about. Like, doesn't mess about. Like I say, Lukaku had a chance against Brighton. Should have buried. Didn't. We go to lose the game. He had a chance against Leicester. Against Schmeichel. Should have buried.
But they're his players.
Doesn't score. But whose fault's that? Lukaku, you should be burying that.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like they're his players, isn't it? It's like Sanchez has gone backwards since he arrived. Too many players have gone backwards rather than forward, and that's why I feel it's hard to blame individual players.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like everyone loves to blame managers when man's going wrong, but it's like Ronaldo. No, I don't hear like man talk about Ronaldo like, oh, it's all down to Zidane. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever manager who's under any time when he won anything. Like, you talk about Ronaldo and it's like we would praise him. It's like it's them when they're doing good.
We wouldn't create a chance for Ronaldo, probably.
He would create his own chances. Like, maybe not. I don't know. Like, I think he ain't scored in a couple of games for Juve, but
his assist the other day. That's what that was.
Yeah. Like, but I don't know, man. I think the players need to take some kind of responsibility. Like I said, Lukaku, you need to score, mate. Like,
that's really shit times, isn't it?
It's a minimum you need to be doing from there. It's a different game, I think, if we do score there. But like I said, that's Premiership football though. You get punished. Like, we got punished against Brighton. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect on it, but you get punished against them if you're not playing well. Like, so if you don't take your chance against Spurs, you're gonna get punished. The same thing will happen against City. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, if we don't play well against City or we don't take our chances, they will take theirs. You know what I'm saying? They will take theirs. Aguero will take his chances. Like, again, it's like if we play Liverpool, if we don't take our chances, they'll take their chances. Salah is hard to get.
But then maybe that's because their manager ain't impressed before the season starts, talking about how bad the season's going to be. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong at Manchester United at the moment. Like I said, my full-time Devils review, it's rotten from top to bottom. And I think even if the manager was to be changed today, tomorrow, next year, the year after, I don't think United's problems really go away. Which is a shame. But yeah, guys, let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. Dean, any final words? Anything you haven't been able to say? Some people have said I've cut you off a few times.
Now, for me, I just think, again, it's like I think I seen Gary Neville say something about in terms of what investment we need moving forward. And again, I just think in reality, like you just have to look at. To me, you look at that. You still need some investment. Like, as I know, like you should be getting more out of there, but in terms of the bar that City have set, like, is high, and you know what I'm saying. Like I said, we're short of a decent centre half by the looks of it. As sad as it is for me, because it's like I said, I think
none of our centre halves. I think Gary Neville again was one of that said it. None of our centre halves are like elite, like the main man. They all want to be next to a main man. And that's the worrying thing. That's why like we needed like an Alderweireld or someone like to just say, right, I'm the main man, you can sit next to me. And it's a shame we haven't got it. We need a few other players as well, but I do think we've got a lot of talent in this team, and it's just waiting to be unlocked somehow, some way. Yes, some of the players have to take some of the responsibility. Yes, the manager has to take some of the responsibility, but hopefully it improves sometime soon. We've got Burnley up next. It's not going to be an easy game. Burnley at Turf Moor as well. It's not going to be an easy game at all. So hopefully we get a result. You're going to jump on the preview this week for that game?
Yeah, definitely down.
So me and Dean will be back. We're going to be doing a straight up video as well this week, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Last thing I'd like to say is, like I say, if you do look at it though, like I said, if we took our chances at a different game, so I think at the same time it is doom and gloom. It feels like doom and gloom now, but
I agree with you.
In our next game, if we take out, like, we created, and the thing against Brighton, we didn't really create anything. So at least we looked kind of positive yesterday for like 45 minutes. If we can do that against whoever and just take our chances, I think we can cause problems.
That's why I wanted to discuss the game and the question of the video separately. Because like one thing, like people always say like to me, oh, when I do videos, oh, why don't you call for the manager's head, or why don't you do this, or why don't you do that? And like after a match, I like to speak about the match. Obviously, you will have a point where you kind of summarize it all, and your feelings may come out about a certain thing either way. But like ultimately, I just want to talk about the match, and then like while the manager's here, we have to support him in it. My feelings, whether I think he's doing right or wrong or good or bad, either way, we have to just get behind this guy. But I hope it improves, man. I hope it improves. It's a weird place to be in August where the season feels like it's all over. But I tell you what's not over. We're going to have much more content for you guys. Make sure you're liking, sharing and subscribing. Subscribe to Straight Up as well. We're going to have the first episode of Straight Up Sports coming soon. We'll have a new podcast this week as well, and much more content coming your way. I've been Adam, he's been Dean, and we are out of here.